It's time with your gynae here on Health with Patricia, where we discuss honest conversations about issues affecting your health and well-being. And today we're discussing premenopause and menopause. It's a natural transition in every woman. It's something that every woman will go through, but we want to explore it further. And my guest, Dr. Promise Sepoga, a consultant obstetrician gynecologist with Shape Health Care Specialist Medical Center, to help us understand it. Doc, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Pre-menopause and menopause. At what stage, at what age does it start? When does it stop? What are some of the signs we should look out for? I heard that it can start as early as 20 years. I stand to be corrected. Yeah. So we start with the pre-menopause.
Yes, so it's all one thing. Menopause in general refers to the stage where the woman's menstrual flows have stopped. Okay. And to say it is menopause is when the period has stopped for 12 months, 12 consecutive months, or for 1 year. Then it's menopause. So the period before then, sometime where the periods come 2 3 months, it doesn't come. The hormones are dwindling. That is the pre-menopause. Up until it ceases completely, then that is the menopause.
Help me understand this, not to cut you short. I know of women who deliver, they deliver like have a like mostly, I think it's mostly with a vaginal birth, and then they go off like no menses till maybe after a year, others 1.5 year, and they're normal. Is that also, could
No.
that also,
So
okay.
after delivery, the pregnancy hormones and the hormones that help to keep breastfeeding
Yeah.
would stop the period from coming for a number of months. And that varies from person to person.
Okay, sure.
But what we're talking about for the menopause, it typically happens between the ages of 45 to 55,
Okay.
okay, globally. In Ghana, our studies show that most women attain menopause between 47 to 48 years, majority in Ghana. Okay. So before the period stops eventually, it may be a bit irregular. But if it is gone on for 12 months with no flow, then the woman is now in the menopause.
Okay.
Now, when a woman is born, the woman is born with her set number of eggs in the ovaries. Every month from the time of puberty, she's losing the eggs. So when she gets to that age around 45 to 55, she most likely has exhausted her eggs. The ovaries also produce what we call estrogen. That's the female hormone. When the young girl grows up to the age 9, 10, 11, 12, she's beginning to have her periods. That is when the estrogen levels rise. Okay, so from that level, the estrogen levels have been high throughout the reproductive age until the age of 45 to 55, estrogen levels begin to come down. So when the estrogen levels are reducing, that is when her body now struggles to cope with life when the estrogen levels have become very low.
Okay.
And these are the things that cause the symptoms that the woman would experience during the menopausal transition.
Okay, sure.
And commonly, they have the hot flashes, where the woman suddenly feels a surge of heat sensation, as if she should just take off her clothes suddenly wherever she is. They have mood problems. They feel depressed. They don't understand what's going on. They have a low sexual drive
Okay.
because the hormone levels are low. Then, because the estrogen levels are low, they don't have enough vaginal lubrication, so they have vaginal dryness. So sexual intimacy becomes painful or uncomfortable, sometimes results in a bit of bleeding. Okay? So as a result, they lose interest in having intimacy with their partners. The men don't understand why the woman is behaving like this. And so that adds to the woman's stress.
Okay.
Typically in that age group, they may just be the two of them alone. Their children have grown and left the house. The child also calls and mommy's response is not as normal. Everybody is wondering what's going on. The woman herself does not understand. And it stresses them. Sleep disturbances. Okay. Now, when these things happen, it affects the woman's productivity. It affects her connection with the spouse and the family. And then the fact that they are not able to help makes it worse, becomes a
Okay.
vicious cycle. Okay. At that stage as well, because the estrogen levels are low, it results in weakness of their bones. So if a woman in that age bracket, after she's attained menopause, she has a simple fall, they can easily fracture their bones because the bones have become weak.
Okay.
The low levels of the estrogen also makes them at risk of developing some heart problems. But the thing is, everybody responds or reacts to these things differently.
Differently.
So if these things are happening and it is disturbing your well-being and ability to cope with day-to-day life, there is help. There are some medications we give to support the woman cope a little better. Because the transition can happen over anything 1 year up to 10 years
Oh, okay.
going through this until eventually your body gets used to the low estrogen levels and you're okay. But you can't tell how long yours will take.
It
So,
also varies.
yes, from person to person. So, if somebody is going through these and it is disturbing their day to day function, look for help.
So in this case, you that is experiencing that, knowing very well you've attained that stage of menopause, what are some of the things that you can do to help yourself? Because obviously the symptoms, there's nothing you can do about it. Like,
Yes.
so how
So,
do you
sometimes
help?
is a bit of the coping mechanisms. Exercise helps.
Okay.
Finding things that give you a bit of pleasure. If it's music, dancing, talking with friends, because there's a great value in women in that group coming together and talking. Share your experiences. Oh, you hear that somebody is going through the same thing. It kind of validates what you're feeling and makes you feel a bit better, knowing that, okay, it's not like something terrible is wrong with me anyway. It helps them to cope better. Okay. And then support groups from friends, from family, from children. If all these is not helping, there is a place for medical help where some medications could just be supplements, or in the severe cases, we give what we call hormone replacement
I was
therapy.
going to ask that.
Uh,
Yeah.
that basically refers to giving you estrogen to help you cope, because all this is because your estrogen levels
Are
have dropped.
low.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, sure. So emotionally, so let me say the partner who knows very well that the woman has attained that stage of menopause, how does he also come in? And the children, how do people around come in to help her without having to tag her as
Unfortunately, a
antisocial
lot,
or too
yes,
aggressive and
yeah,
you are
of being
this, you are
unfriendly.
that? Yes.
Unfortunately, knowledge and awareness on the subject of menopause is so low. So, like I said, the partners don't even know what their wives are going through. Okay. And they are also, because of that, they are rather being antagonistic. They are fighting them. Why have you become difficult to live with? Why are you not
Yeah.
interested in having intimacy with me? Why are you so moody, irritable? The men don't know. The woman herself doesn't know what she's going through. The children do not know. Okay, which is why there's a great deal of room for awareness creation, like we're doing now,
Yeah.
so that people get to know that women in that age group are experiencing these things, and they are not being just difficult for the sake of being difficult. There's something happening medically,
Okay.
so that then we can help them to cope, be kind to them, understanding. If it is not helping, let us help them to seek professional care.
Is it possible that this particular menopause, like for instance, you said, is mostly from 47 in Africa or Ghana from 47 years? Is it possible that it can start maybe from like 30s or 40s?
There's something we call early menopause.
Okay.
That is from 40. Like I said, globally, is between 45 to 55.
Okay.
So if anything between 40 to 45, that's what we call the early menopause.
Okay.
If this happens before the age of 40, then we call it premature ovarian failure. It means the ovaries have failed prematurely, and
Okay.
that tips you into menopause. Occasionally, somebody has a problem for which reason we have to do surgery and remove the ovaries. Again, that is a surgical menopause. Once the surgery is done and the ovaries are taken off, it's straight menopause begins.
Okay.
So that is a surgical one. But the natural one is the one that begins from 45 up to 55 years.
But is it like my final question? Is it something that can be avoided? Like maybe we taking more of the medications, the supplements to just
No.
avoid
It's a
this
natural
stage?
aging process. You cannot avoid it. So the whole point is for you to know that this is bound to happen in a woman's life at the tail end of a woman's reproductive life. And if it happens, these are the symptoms and this is how we cope.
Okay, sure. Your final advice, Doc.
Menopause is not a disease. Menopause is not witchcraft. It's not a spiritual attack. It's just a natural change occurred in a woman's body. So when you get to that age bracket and you're going through any of these symptoms, avoid coffee, avoid a lot of alcohol, do regular exercise, talk to friends, talk to people, get information, and then there is professional help if you need, so that it can help you to cope better with the transition process.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Sapoga.
You're
Promise
welcome.
Sapoga. Yes, he said menopause is not witchcraft. Because I know during this stage, women become difficult to deal with. And if you do not understand, mostly they tag them as witches and all that. I don't know how the men behave though, but it's all good. Thank you very much, Doug, once again. Until same time next week, stay blessed.